Okay, the new coinages have been released at last. Let's take a first look at them. I have not seen them yet. Okay, so once again, once again have to say, because Clair exists, I'm hoping that maybe Red Sheet Sinclair here will do quite a lot of significant things. Let's see what he does. On hit, inflict Rupture. If target is X plus Rupture, gain Talisman. On hit, inflict Rupture by the count. When hit, gain Rupture by the count. Okay. And then at turn at X plus count, remove all Talisman and take fixed damage by its count. At X plus count, remove all Talisman and take fixed damage by its count. And on use, you gain Talisman. So he's gaining Talisman. And then using skill 3, he can give the Talisman. So when Sinclair gets hit, he gains Rupture by the count. And at X plus count, he removes all Talisman and takes fixed damage by its count. No, sorry. It's on hit, No, it's very interesting. It's... Okay, this one is he gains Talisman. Gains Talisman. Then he uses skill 3 to spend the Talisman and then gives the Talisman. If the target has Talisman, you inflict Rupture count. Okay. So will Sinclair be the one that fills in the Rupture count applier? The raw Rupture count applier that we need, to make Rupture count kind of be consistent? Maybe. Coinage on these skills look pretty good. I guess his skill 1 might be a standard 4 to 10 range attack. Maybe a +6 coin here. I'm thinking that's going to be the case. This could be very solid unless they make him really like a tank support kind of character, in which case he will only have very low coinages here. On him, the target had Rupture, gain Talisman, so he is definitely part of the Rupture gang, and Talisman is a support for Rupture. On use, gain Talisman with a guard. If target has X plus Rupture, gain Talisman. Okay. So far, this character looks okay-ish. I think might be fun for Rupture teams, but for generic purposes, I think you might still want to take Clair, right? Because the raw damage output of Clair still probably beats this. So I think for meta people, Clair will still be the go-to, and for people who just want to play for fun with the Rupture gang, maybe this character could be very good. Yep. Wait for the coinages before we say any more, I think, for this Sinclair. Let's move on to Hong Lu. This one I'm quite excited for. Let's see. Gain coin power against targets with Rupture, very interesting. And it's a single coiner, that is interesting. Because single coin IDs that are 3-star usually have them being like 4 to 11 range, right? But this one gains coin power against targets with Rupture, so benefits from Rupture again. Decay Blade, inflict Rupture. If target has X plus Rupture, you heal. Oh dear. Maybe we can run a small team of Rupture and then use him as the... I don't know. The coinages here don't look very good. And just like I feared, he might be a tank character. Because he is also healing himself. But if he is the one that inflicts the potency, the Rupture potency, then it might be very interesting. If this Rupture potency here is quite high, right? Above a certain percentage of HP, gain coin power. Okay, that is interesting. Usually when you see coin power stuff, they're kind of busted, right? We got L Corp Files, coin power Rabbit Heathcliff, coin power I can't remember who. I think Base Hong Lu, right? Yeah, those characters are strong because they have gained coin power. And in this situation, this looks very interesting because this character clearly can maintain his HP very high, especially when he has this K-Corp Ampule, right? At less than X count, heal by a portion of max HP based on the effect count. Oh, if you inject yourself too much, you die. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay. So this is a percentage heal, according to what I'm reading here. So that is interesting. And if you can just stay above a certain percentage of HP, you gain coin power. And you inflict Rupture, and you inflict Rupture count by the amount of ampules. But the only way to get ampules is how? On guard and When hit if less than a certain percentage of HP, and you gain the Ampule. This only activates once per battle. Gain Fragile every turn for the rest of the battle. Okay, according to this, K-Corp Ampule does not expire at the end of turn, from what I see here. So it is kind of like, what's that, Ego? Hertily, right? Where if you just gain a certain amount of Ampule, then you just live forever, and you don't go to this count, if not you die. And what happens is that you will be able to keep inflicting Rupture count on your skill tree, and you deal more damage based on the Ampule. So this character is literally drugging himself to kill enemies. Yeah, like what this red fellas here says, yeah, 2 coin is really not very good. But this certain percentage of HP gain coin power, we need to see the numbers, right? We need to see the numbers first. The thing about tanky characters is that usually they have low numbers. This is just from experience. Like for example, Mersault, his skill tree, the base version of Mersault, his skill tree is like +1 coin power. And then Mariachi's Sinclair is also pretty low coin power as well. So yeah, let's hope the coin power is good. This character looks quite interesting. It does set a precedence for getting K-Corp Ampule support in the future, maybe. But these two are definitely our Rupture count characters. They are going to help us to inflict the Rupture count, according to this, and also inflict Rupture potency. Yeah, so perhaps these two will be core units for Rupture in the future. I don't know. We have to see. But if the coin power is not even that great, maybe we won't even use them in the for meta stuff. Maybe you just use them for fun Rupture gang. Like you go to MD2, you take out the Rupture stuff, and then you just run the Rupture team. Could be a very fun setup. Okay, and then let's look at the egos. This is the part I've been waiting for. Let's see. Inflict bind next turn. Okay, as expected, because Spider-Bud was a bind character. Bind abnormality in Library of Ruina, so inflict bind, I expected that. If target has X plus, but the most busted debuff in the game, plus coin drop. Holy shit! This already makes it a god like support ego, because Heath has plus coin drop, and if you don't know how plus coin drop works, it inflicts a debuff called plus coin drop. It has a very weird name, I know. Plus coin drop, what it does is that it will make enemies plus coins get reduced by the potency of the plus coin drop. So if this was 2, right, that means the enemies, each coin will roll 2 less, and this affects every single coin as long as it's a plus coin. That's how powerful this is. This is not paralysis. Paralysis is consumed when you don't roll the hit, but plus coin drop is for the entire attack and for all subsequent attacks, making it one of the stronger debuffs in the game. And it's next turn as well, so it doesn't matter what your Ryoshu is. Wow. Yeah, having these two already makes this such a strong support ego. If target speed is lower than users, inflict slash stretch. Oh my goodness, it's coming, boys. The age of what's her name? 7 section Ryoshu. Yeah, holy shit, man. Another slash frag applier on a slash frag ID. Is the age of slashing coming? But we don't have a lot of good slashers right now, right? They release a lot of blunt and pierce so far. I think in terms of raw slashing damage, I think K-Corp Hong, maybe Gregor's Hack. Hack is pretty decent. Oh, and of course we can't forget W Dawn, Rip Space, yep. And I think that's all I can think of right now off the top of my head. Oh, of course, there's also Chef Ryoshu. Shit. Chef Ryoshu with slash fresh. But unfortunately we need to use 7 section Ryoshu to get the slash fresh additional. Well, whatever the case is, all these 3 it's basically copy pasted from Ruina. Ruina, the Spider-Bud did bind, it did slash fetch. I don't remember what this was. Was it attack down maybe? I think it did apply attack down instead of plus coin drop. The fact that they changed it to plus coin drop might be very, very ridiculous. Yeah. If target speed is lower than the users though, so you do need to be fast. And on Clash Wind, inflict blind next to, oh my goodness. This is basically the same ego as Ishmael's Roseate Desire, because Ishmael's Roseate Desire inflicts pink shoes. Pink shoes also inflicts bind, and in this case, inflict bind next turn on a Clash Wind is also very, very consistent as a passive. So this ego is very, very strong. I like it a lot. So it has a lot of good debuffs to make bossing easier, and it even applies slash frag so that you can maybe do your rip spaces, or if you're on Ryoshu, your Chef Ryoshu, you can use your I can cook anything. after using this ego. So very, very strong actually. I really like this ego a lot. Looks very, very solid. Bind focus, yeah, I guess you can say it's bind focus, yeah. Yeah, you do need a specific amount of bind. So if this ego, oh no, it has to be distant bind. Which means that you will need to apply the bind somewhere else. Yeah, it is bind support, yeah. This guy is right. Yeah, Virgilius is right. Yeah, you do need a previous binder. And I can think of a few sources of bind. We got Chain of Others, we got Ishmael's Roseate Desire, we got Ishmael's Snag Harpoon. I can't really think of anyone that actually applies raw bind, but this is quite interesting. Really, really quite interesting. It's bind support. Alright, let's see what's the Red Eyes Open Ryoshu. AoE. AoE go. AoE targets 3 slots. If main target speed is lower than users by a certain amount or more, gain coin power. Okay, has coin power on it. Alright. If main target speed is lower than users by a certain amount or more, gain coin power. I don't think it's Muse Prowess. Muse Prowess is per coin, per speed. I mean, it's per speed. This one is if it's lower by a certain amount or more. It doesn't gain coin power. It doesn't gain scaling coin power based on how low their speed is. I don't think it's Muse Prowess. If target has X plus bind, deal more damage. If this skill staggers or defeats the target, heal user and the ally with the least HP. Wow. Wow. What the hell? Okay. Indiscriminate. If main target speed is lower than users by a certain amount more, gain final power. If target is X plus... I forgot what I forgot what final power actually means. I think final power is just the... after calculating all the damage, you add a little bit more, right? That's final power. Coin power is a little bit better unless you only have 1 coin, in which case they are pretty much the same, I think. I'm not too sure here. Maybe someone who knows the coin power, final power can explain a bit more. But I'm pretty sure here, because the coinage is only 1, it doesn't really matter what coin power or final power you get, I think. Or does final power also affect clash power? I think it does also. Okay. If target has X plus bind, deal more damage. If the skill staggers or defeat, it does the same thing. It's indiscriminate only. If the unit healed more than a certain amount of its attack power... What the hell? Okay, does it count if you are full HP and it heals a certain portion? That's the real thing here. Does Ryoshu need to be low HP in order to get this part to work? Because this might not be consistent. Unless it's like, if Ryoshu is even full HP, then she does this heal here, and she overheals by that portion required, and she gives the attack power up. If that's the case, then it's pretty damn solid. Another thing is that this passive is really good with Chef Ryoshu because she has passive healing from killing things. So she will get a lot of free attack power. This is a very strong ego. And the fact that it's AoE slash. We only had Yisang as an AoE slash, right? 4th match flame Yisang. That was our only 3 target AoE slash. And now we have Ryoshu He ego that is also AoE slash, and it's envy as well. So we got some bind egos. I don't know the values, so I really can't comment anymore, but okay. What IDs apply bind? No bind from Yisang. What IDs apply bind? I can't really think of any IDs that actually apply raw bind. Maybe tanks or supports can apply some bind, right? Does W Force do it? W Fast? Inflict 4 bind, yep, okay. Grippy does not inflict bind. This one's tricky. Basically, I'm looking for any bind supports. Bind. Does 7 section 6 bind? No, I think Otis, Corp Otis does have bind, right? No, it's attack down and protection. No, wrong person. Sinclair? Does Zoi have bind? No, Zoi has tremor. Grippy does not have bind. Mariachi has no bind. Mariachi is SP damage. We only really have... Our only binders seem to be either egos or supports, from what I understand, yeah. This is quite tricky. Like really the only two I thought of off the top of my head was Snag Harpoon. Yeah, Snag Harpoon, Ishmael's Roseate Desire because of Pink Shoes as a passive. Yeah. Maybe Roseate Hong Lu as well. Was it also buy? No, it was. I think it was defense power down, right? I feel like binding here might have to be ego only, right? We don't actually have someone that applies a crap ton of bind right now. Unless they plan to release an ID that supports bind. If not, okay, no, but wait. If you use Red Eyes Ryoshu, the Theft Ego, you do inflict bind naturally. And it applies next turn. Oh, okay, no, yeah. I think bind right now is ego only. So I suspect that Ryoshu is going to do Closed Eyes, inflict bind with this on Clash Winds, and then after that, she activates Red Eyes Open Ryoshu. Or you set up with Ishmael beforehand, and then you use Red Eyes Open Ryoshu. I think something like that could combo pretty well, because I think Snag Harpoon gives you bind this turn. Wait, no, that sounds dumb. Sounds dumb. It should be next turn, right? Yeah, I think 6 bind next turn. Yeah, so no matter what you do have to set it up. So bind is something you need to set up right now. You need to use an ego to set up some binds first, and then after that next turn, then you can use Red Eyes Open Ryoshu. It's very cool though, because this does remind me of Gebura's strat. Gebura is from Library of Ruina. Gebura gains more coin power if you give her Muse Prowess, which is a passive. And how it works is that your speed needs to be higher than the enemy. Then you will get a bonus attack, bonus power, I think. Yeah, so this is essentially the same thing, but we are using Spider Butt Ego. Yeah, so this damage could be insane. We would need to apply AoE bind. We need to apply as much bind as possible in groups, because this is an AoE ego and each of the hits will check this to deal more damage. This is unfortunately only 3 times per turn. Okay, but it's also very good for bosses that do not have AoE protection. If you can hit multiple parts, maybe like if you fought Headless Ichthys or the Teleport Dog. Teleport Dog is a bit of a rougher example, but it's an example, right? You can only hit usually 2 parts on the dog, but on the Headless Ichthys you might hit 3 parts. And if you have enough bind, oh no, you have to apply the bind on each part also. Damn, this is actually very tricky. I think we actually have a lot of trouble applying AoE bind. We only can really apply bind on one target at a time. We don't have any AoE bind sources, do we? I can't think of any AoE bind sources right now. Does Roseate Ishmael do AoE if I corrode it? No, it does not. This one's tricky. We don't have any AoE bind, so we can't get the additional damage here. But it is just a slash ego, so it could do a lot more damage, and this only requires the main target's speed to be lower, right? Actually, this says main target, but this says target. So is this the main target, or is this just the target itself? In that case, I don't actually need to apply the bind on everyone. I just need to apply bind on the main target. Okay, I think how this works is that you apply bind on one target, maybe the boss, and then it will check this. If the main target's speed is lower than users by a certain amount or more, you gain coin power onto the rest of the attacks. And then the rest of the attacks, if it hits other enemies, it will check for this as well, and then it will deal more damage. Okay, yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. In that case, this ego just looks very, very solid to me. I think these 2 egos I'm 100% going to pull, because Ryoshu doesn't really have another ego to compete with this. Oh no, 4th Mesh Flame though. 4th Mesh Flame is actually very, very strong. 4th Mesh Flame Ryoshu is super strong. Yeah, it's an insane ego actually. I remember it was super busted, yeah. So now it's 4th Match Flame versus this. But the thing is that this Ryoshu ego is very, very strong, but only single target. And it's ref. But this passive here is also very, very strong, because every 4th skill, if you use your 4th skill as I can cook anything, it is very powerful. So in this case, I would say that you would take this if there's something that you can AoE down, or if they're weak to Envy, because then this will do more damage. And then if you need single target, ref slash damage, then you would take this one. Or if you're doing a solo Ryoshu strat, which I did do in Railway 1, then you will want to do this, because every 4th skill, which is pretty much like every 4 turns that your Ryoshu takes, like, because she'll have so many actions if she's soloing, it will just give her so much power. So maybe you do this for that strat. Yeah. Bit tricky right now to say anything because I don't know the coin powers and I don't know how much bind required. But so far, my initial prediction is that this Sinclair is probably just going to be a fun character. Hong Lu here looks initially like a fun character as well. I don't think Rupture will be a main strat because I think it might be too slow for meta stuff. But if you do want to just use for fun, I think these two are totally okay to be used. And then for these two egos here, I think that they are looking very spicy. We have slash fragility first off, so that looks very nice, and then we have plus coin drop. So if you're struggling with a boss, you can just take this. And even then, you also do get this passive here and this passive here. So if you ever just want to do solo Ryoshu and then use spider webs into Predator, you can actually pretty much, I think, solo pretty easily, because you have a heal here, and you have a Clash Wind inflict bind, so you can inflict binds all over the place, and then you just use your AoE to slice them all down. Something like that, maybe. I'm liking this design a lot. These two so far, I think this is supposed to be Rupture support, but I kind of don't like it, yeah. Might be too slow, that's what I feel. Yeah, might be too slow. Oh wait, actually now that I think about it, Dimension Shredder, right? Yeah, Dimension Shredder Ego for Hong Lu. Wait a minute, is there any synergy over there? Let's see, Dimension Shredder. Before you attack, you gain 5 charge count, gain 2 inflict, 1 fragile, and 4 dimensional rift. So he himself can apply it. Gluttony and Pride. He does give Gluttony and Pride commonly. Yep. So he is the ID that's supposed to go with this. Interesting. And then he can gain 1 charge count, and he will spend all charge count to be immortal. Okay, I see the synergy. It's an immortal Hong Lu build. Because when you hit an enemy with a negative status, and this character here applies a lot of negative statuses, also gains a lot of power with Rupture, and this applies Rupture. So it's very synergistic, these two. The problem is that it looks a bit too slow in terms of damage output, because his coinage is really low. That's the only main thing here. The coinage is not as crazy as Yisang's coinage, right? Yisang has 333, that's a lot of damage. So this guy only has 122, which doesn't look very good. But this synergy here does mean that he is very hard to kill. And let's hope that maybe there will be some content that we must tank. If there's something that we must tank, right? Maybe like dueling, right? Because dueling marks a single target to be hit. Maybe an enemy gets a debuff where he marks your Hong Lu, and then after that, the enemy will just keep blasting Hong Lu, and so you actually do need to have one tanker to tank all the damage that's being blasted. Yeah, maybe something like that could possibly be a strat. Besides that, I think this might be a bit too slow for meta stuff where you're trying to reroll for shorter turns. Yeah, this one also a little bit too slow, I feel. It takes quite a long time to maybe get this Talisman mount. I'm not sure yet. This Talisman mechanic looks very slow to me. It looks like you do need to get a certain amount of Talisman onto a target, right? Or actually no, it could just be Rupture support. I don't know. I really don't know. But there is something I will note, that this ID does give green and pride as well. So it also helps to feel this. So clearly they are meant to be together. Yeah. Now what about Yisang? Let's see. Yisang also has a Dimension Cutter Ego. Yisang's Dimension Cutter Ego also has Sloth and Gluttony. This one does not have the Sloth, but this one does have the Sloth. So it is also supporting the other Yisang Dimension Shredder Ego. Who else? We don't have any other Rupture supporters, right, for Yisang? I think Yisang only currently has Effervescent Yisang, the Spice Bush one, and Blade Lineage. Okay, but Effervescent Yisang does have a lot of Sloth, right? It's basically a Sloth character, so could be a very strong usage there. Especially if you apply a lot of Rupture and then use Spice Bush to just smack a lot. Yeah, he does have Sloth, so he can support that ego as well. But when you're using Spice Bush, you kind of still want to use you kind of still want to use his battle pass ego, right? Because that Sun Shower Yisang ego is freaking insane for sloth damage buffing. But yeah, I feel like maybe we are missing one piece. It feels like one piece is missing right now. Yeah, we need sloth from somewhere in order to help fill up Yisang to pop the rupture count. Is it possible we will get one more Yisang ID? Is it possible? What are the other rupture counterpliers? Holy shit, this video is gonna last so long because there's so many things to think about. Are there any other rupture counterpliers? I mean, we have G. Gregor who rupture count benefits because of his skill tree, but his skill 2 is also sloth, so it does help. Other rupture counterpliers are who? His Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man does not give sloth. Who else applies rupture? Currently no one, besides the 2 new units about to come. So I feel like we are missing some things to make Rupture tie in together. Corp Hong does look like a very good tie-in, so he needs to have the Dimension Shredder. Okay. So I think to summarize everything that I think about this, I think that these two are definitely meant to be used together because their 2 elements here are Gluttony and Pride. I think they might be too low damage / slow for railway speedruns, but it's also very early to say that, so I will not say anything about that for now. And then these two have these good elements, right, which help to charge up the a little bit of Yisang's ego, Dimension Cutter, as well as Hong Lu's Dimension Shredder, yeah. Gluttony and Pride, and on the skill 1, skill 2, that means they are very easily going to use this ego a lot, and there is very good synergy here with Hong Lu because of this hitting enemy with negative status effect. This unit gains +1 charge count, and then when you HP fall to 0, you spend all charge and you heal. Yeah, so quite the tanky and good rupture supportee on one character. Yeah, this character's talisman looks interesting because it inflicts rupture by the count. And you will apply it onto the enemy. And if the target has Talisman, you also inflict Rupture count. So again, need to see the numbers first before we say anything, but honestly, I think this character might be a bit too slow right now. But I also don't know how much damage Talisman does, so maybe Talisman's damage will make it worth it. It does look quite cool. Yeah, it does look quite cool. Okay, and then after that, we have the Ryoshu Eagles, which I think are very solid synergy-wise. Bind plus coin drop / fragility, very good anti-bossing tool because plus coin drop is just ridiculous as a debuff. It makes all of the bosses plus coins just drop by this potency. It's so strong to win clashes. And on Clash when you inflict Bind next turn, very good. It's almost similar to Roseate Desire Ishmael. And then lastly, Red Eyes Open Ryoshu. This one looks very strong because it has this. If mean target speed is lower than the user's, so it's like Mio's prowess where you want to be faster than the enemy, and then you gain coin power. And if the target has X plus bind, you deal more damage. So yeah, it looks really solid. And if you kill or stagger a target, you heal the user and the ally with the least HP by a portion of max HP, and if you heal, you gain attack power up next turn. So it has a lot of synergy. There's a flow going to it. You want to inflict bind through your ego or your clashing, and then you want to, or you can use like Snack Harpoon or Roseate Desire to just apply the bind first, and then you use this ego afterwards when the bind is already applied to deal more damage. You try and kill or stagger to get the heal, and you get attack power for next turn. So I'm thinking maybe a small squad with Ryoshu getting more actions could be able to benefit greatly from this because they'll be able to do crazy shenanigans. Yeah, they could do, like at the start of a railway fight, maybe they could use both egos, and then both passives are activated, and then now they just need to look for the chance to get this healing, right? And if you're using Chef Ryoshu also has healing when someone dies, so there's also even more attack power up, perhaps. Yeah, so this looks very interesting, very solid, very fun looking. Yeah, I don't know whether it will be enough damage to compensate for other threats, but again, we always need to see the typings when we go into railway and stuff. But this looks very fun. Yeah, this looks like a fun Tef into He combo, and these two definitely are meant to be together because they are the Rupture Count gang. Maybe Hong Lu could be used individually because he does have the Rupture Count application with his own ego, Dimension Shredder. Dimension Shredder applies 4 Rupture Count, right? And then he himself also feeds his own ego and he applies Rupture Potency. And if you can somehow get more Corp ampules into him, he can also apply more Rupture Count. So looks a little bit self-sufficient right now. I don't know the numbers, so if the numbers come out and it's not self-sufficient, then so be it, right? It just means that you need more Rupture count application through maybe Yisang's Ego, or you just bring along Sinclair or Chainsaw Gregor, for example. Yeah. So overall, I think this banner is looking very spicy. I think I'm going to try and get Hong Lu. I'll see the coinage first before I decide on Hong Lu, because once again, he has very low coinage, right? So it's a bit rough. He does have coin power though, so that is something. And then I'm definitely pulling for these egos here because I want to try this strat. Looks so fun. Especially, I think if you go to Mirror Dungeon and then you take all of the bind gifts in the future maybe, and then you get a shit ton of free bind and you just keep doing red eyes open. Yeah. And then we do the what's this called? Horizontal blade, right? From Gebura. Yeah. So cool, so cool. I love the design. So I'm looking forward to Ryoshu, and I am going to see Hong Lu's coins first before I decide to pull on him. I want to see Talisman as well before I pull on him. So that's my opinion on the pulls, and yeah. So whoever's pulling for the banner, I wish you luck, and let's hope the coinages are good for everyone, yeah? Alright, that's it for this review. Yep, and thank you all for watching.